The Denver Nuggets have just swept the Lakers to reach their first NBA Finals in their franchise history. I hope everybody's doing as great as I am right now because to just give it a bit of a background, normally I would pass this off to my good friend, my good co-host over there, right next to me. But I have something to just get off my chest here. As you people may not know, I have to live with this person. Yes, a Lakers fan. I feel horrible for myself as well. I've had to endure the Lakers beating the Grizzlies, then the Lakers beating the Warriors. And after that, I didn't know if I could take much more. I told myself, I don't know if I could live with a Lakers in the finals again. I think I would just cease to exist. And my prayers have been answered. The first time the Lakers go against a team that's actually pretty decent in the Nuggets, we see the Lakers get exposed for what they really are. A sorry play-in team, because that's what they've been. And look, first game, let's just take this all back because this is the wrap up. This is the end. This is, 1-2-3 Cancun for the Lakers here. So let's do a little wrap up here. Game one, the Nuggets just dominate for 3 quarters, and the Lakers have one good quarter, the fourth quarter. And all anybody wants to talk about is, oh, the Lakers figured it out. They made a change. The Lakers learned something that game. Oh my God, they're going to come back game two. This is going to be different. Darvin Ham said, don't you worry. In the postgame, he wants to tell the fans, lying to the fans, don't worry about we'll figure it out. Trust me. Okay, Darvin Ham, let's see what you do in game two. Let's see what happens in game two. And Lakers come out strong, and they blow a double-digit lead to the Nuggets to go 2-0. And then I have to hear the cope from Lakers fans. I mean, the one right here. So, the Suns were down 2-0 to the Nuggets, and they came back and they tied it. Well, I'm going to break something to you right now. The Suns would have swept the Lakers too. I'm here to tell you right now, because we're not comparing that the Suns have two better players, that they're just completely different. The Lakers were on the side of the bracket that was very flattering towards them, because this Lakers team does not hold a candle to the Suns. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are better than anybody the Lakers have. That's just the truth of it. I'm not talking about careers. I'm talking about right now in this playoff run. Devin Booker is better than anybody on the Lakers. As simple as that. So I always thought that was a stupid argument they would make, but it's Lakers fans. They're the most delusional fans in sports history. So then there's we're undefeated in the crypto center. This is our home. This is, we got the banners. We got our fans. Well, guess what? None of those things can play basketball for you. None of those can make AD play semi-decent basketball. It's a ghost show from Anthony Davis. Always disappointing. And the Nuggets go into the crypto center and they own the Lakers. They just do what they want. Jokic has the game on a string. They're close games, but they weren't really close. All the Lakers could do was these fake runs to just give their fans a little copium, a little hope that maybe they could salvage it. And the crescendo of this was this game 4, because, I usually turn my phone off for these games. I kind of, like to put it on mute. And what do I get at halftime? I get 62 notifications. Someone died. Maybe someone is in a car accident. Maybe my family just got wiped off the planet. No, it was a fucking delusional Lakers fan that I live with, who can all tell me, oh, there's no chance. LeBron, what was the record? It was 0-149. And all I was ever said was 1-149. That if anybody's going to do it, it's the Lakers. It's LeBron. Oh, my God, bury me in a LeBron jersey because I might come back. Well, guess what? You just died. You just died. And I'm going to see myself echoing because I'm sick of it. I was sick of this. Literally, borderline harassment from these messages nonstop, that the Lakers are going to come back from a 3-0. Something no one's ever done. And the fact the Lakers weren't even close. The Lakers were not even close. They didn't win a game. People in that, some of the teams in that record that went 0-149, they actually went to game 7s. Some of them actually went to game 6s. The Lakers weren't one of those teams. They were swept. They did not belong. They never belonged. They were a play-in team that were riding off some fairy tale dream that they could possibly make a finals run. The Nuggets exposed them. I'm happy as hell. I can't, I'm finally get to rest easy. I'm gonna have the greatest sleep of my entire life tonight because I don't have to worry about no more Lakers fans talking about this or that. All I'm gonna hear now is stupid Kyrie rumors. But look, I'm happy if Kyrie goes to Lakers. Kyrie gets to destroy another franchise. So look, it's a great day. Nuggets deserve to go to the finals. They were far a better team than the Lakers. And give me Nuggets Heat final.
TJ?
Look, I think this was the chance for the Lakers. Let's not forget, LeBron James will be 39 years old in December. And where do the Lakers go from here? I know G mentioned Kyrie. Of course, the Lakers offseason hype machine will bring out their Kyrie jersey photoshops. They'll put every star in the NBA in a Lakers uniform. But realistically, I'm not sure I see that happening. Kyrie's going to get the full max from Dallas, obviously in a state that has no state income tax. Kyrie will be able to get significantly more money as a Dallas Maverick than a Laker. And where do the Lakers turn from there? I see maybe overpaying Austin Reeves, maybe throwing Rui Hachimura back. And this just looks like a tier 2 Western Conference team next year again. In LeBron's, year 21? That's who they're going to surround LeBron with. Austin Reeves as your third best player. I just don't see where it gets better from here.
Speak. Tell us about how you had no fear that I was covering my eyes from LeBron's first quarter, that he had 31 and a half. Very impressive, LeBron. But the fact that he tried to masquerade this series as he plays good, as he hasn't played good. LeBron, where was this at? Why did he only wait till game 4 to do this? I mean, did he just now realize, oh my God, if I just stop shooting threes, if I stop going 0 for 20 from 3, I can actually score? I mean, I'm no basketball savant or anything, but I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to know that. So please tell me about how Jokic was terrified that, it's 1 in 149 even though it's 0 in 150.
Look, I'll start off by saying this. I tip my cap to the Denver Nuggets. They were the better team. There's nothing else really to be said. Jokic, best player in the world right now, best player in the league by far. Let's be honest, he's way better than Embiid. That's not even a debate in my opinion. This Nuggets team is just so deep. And one thing I'll say about this Nuggets team is, especially in this game 4, it was very evident. Every time the Lakers felt like they had a chance to pull away, the Nuggets always hit clutch baskets to keep them in the game. They always stay around. It's impossible to slam the door shut on this Nuggets team, no matter how hard you try. This Nuggets team does not go away. They have an elite mentality. They always are thinking that they can come back from any lead that or any deficit that they might be facing. So I tip my cap to this Nuggets team. Extremely, extremely difficult to beat. They deserve to win this series. They outplayed the Lakers 4 straight times, and we were swept. We were embarrassed. There's no other way to defend it. But what I will say is that once again, Anthony Davis didn't step up, Mr. Inconsistent. When he has his highs, they're elite, and you think, why can't AD do this every game? And then he has these games like tonight where he's just inefficient, doesn't really show up, and let's be honest, AD wasted a vintage LeGoat playoff game to try to salvage something for this Lakers team and give them a bit of hope. LeGoat turned back the clock.
I don't know who is. I only know Legon.
LeGoat turned back the clock. And let's just be honest here. And G obviously is going to have his opinion on this, but I'll just say this. This year 20 sweep in the Western Conference Finals against the Nuggets has no impact on LeBron's legacy. Are we really judging LeBron based on year 20, what happened in the playoffs, where, let's just be honest, in this game 4, he carried this Lakers team, and it was just
where
unlucky
was he game
to lose.
1, game 2, game 3?
This has no impact on his resume, on his legacy. This is year 20. Where was Jordan in year 20?
We're not talking about Michael Jordan. We're talking about the team that you picked to beat the Nuggets, the team that I'm not going to let any Lakers fans use this cope that oh, we're just the 7th seed. What are we even doing here? We're just this fella's in our lap. That's not a defense because everybody picked the Lakers. Who picked the Nuggets?
A lot of people picked the Nuggets.
No, because the polls, the Lakers fans can run the polls all they want, that they can give them the favorites and all this. Everybody picking the Lakers, but they don't want to face the reality that they lost. That even though they truly believed, they actually thought that they could do it. And look, like I said, LeBron did a good job of masquerading this series as that. Wait, LeBron played. He got 40 points. He got 40. Well, what did he do? Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. Those are winnable games. How many of these games were winnable other than maybe Game 3? I mean, those are winnable games. And this was a winnable game. Are we going to act like it was not? I mean, they lost by 2. That's a winnable game. The LeBron had the ball in his hands at the end of the game to tie the game. Is that? I mean, yeah, it could get masqueraded by, oh my God, he scored 40.
He had a few chances.
Yeah, I mean, he had a few chances to close the game.
But you're saying that this series has an impact on his legacy.
I mean, look, LeBron is the second greatest player of all time. That doesn't change it to he doesn't move to third for me. But I'm saying that he had to win this game. This is a winnable game. Look, is it too much to ask for, the GOAT to win a 2-point game at home? Is that too much to ask for to win one game? And look, this is not like, 2007 Cavaliers versus the Spurs where it's like, LeBron, or even LeBron versus the 2017 Cavs. This is the Denver Nuggets team that a lot of people liked your odds against. It doesn't now you want to, they're going to start using this defense. Oh, they're the 1 seed. Of course they're going to win. Well, no, because a lot of people actually thought the Lakers are going to win that. Even I was fooled to a certain extent. I gave the Lakers more credit than they deserved. I thought they could win a game. I was fooled.
But look, at the end of the day, I'm already thinking towards next season. Obviously it was great to have this run. Let's be honest, we started at 2-10. A lot of people didn't even expect us to make the playoffs.
I'm so glad
we made the play-in.
I'm done hearing that stupid shit.
We made the play-in. We won, and then we had a good run. We beat the Grizzlies. We beat the Warriors, took out the defending champs, and then we lost to a team that was just better than us. At the end of the day, we lost to a team that was better than us. But I'm thinking towards the next season already. I'm already thinking, what can we do to get this team a little bit better? We're going to bring in Kyrie. We're going to re-sign Austin Reeves. We hope to re-sign Rui Hachimura. And then we can compete for a championship next season. We will be back. The Lakers will be back next season. LeBron in year 21. Look,
let's just play in maybe.
Hold on. People forget about the high level LeBron was playing during the regular season before this foot injury happened. LeBron is going to get the rest in the full offseason. He's going to be back.
Was his foot hurting tonight?
Yes, of course his foot was hurting tonight. LeBron has been playing through injury the entire postseason. He's been playing through injury.
Oh, TJ, what were we going to say?
Has LeBron realistically been an MVP contender since he's left?
I'm not saying he's going to be the MVP contender, but I'm saying that at the end of the day, during the regular season, at one point he was averaging 28, 29, 30 points per game. He can go back to that. That's easy.
Back to that in year 21.
Yes, he just didn't this season. He's playing through injury. All of your minds are foggy right now about LeBron because he's been playing through injury.
Is the most lycopium thing I've ever heard in my entire
life. It's real.
Life. It's real. It's look. Is it real when he scores 40 points? If they win this game, does anybody talk about he's poor?
Yes, of course I'm still talking about it.
No, you're not talking. No, you're not.
Of course, I'm still talking about it.
Absolutely, you're not talking about it. If they win this game, you're not talking about it because you know what you're going to be talking about if they won this game, right? That oh my God, they're going to go back to Denver. They're going to take that game. They're going to take the next one. And oh my God, Game 7. Who's betting against LeBron? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there was never going to be a Game 7 because they could not protect home court. To be fair, I gave them credit. I thought they would because they usually played well, but they got exposed for what they really are. And look, and if Lakers fans are legitimately relying on Kyrie Irving to come save them, then all hope is lost. You might as well just disband, hang it up, close the stadium. Because Kyrie Irving, this is not 2016. Kyrie Irving is a franchise wrecker. He destroys franchises. If you think it's going to be any different, LeBron can handle him. This is a completely different human being. He went to a Dallas Mavericks team that was pretty good last season and made them a fucking lottery pick. Is that the guy you're really relying on? And you're saying you're going to re-sign Austin Reeves. You literally don't have the cap space. You don't have the money. You literally cannot re-sign him.
Lakers fans think the salary cap does not exist.
They think it doesn't exist, bro. It's unbelievable. It's like, that the NBA is going to be, oh, fuck it, give the
Lakers will
whatever
be
they
back
want.
next season. The
They
Lakers will be back.
They won't be back next season. Maybe back in
Okay.
Cancun.
Okay, but let me just ask you this to put this question out to the floor. Obviously, we all have different opinions on who the GOAT is, but does this series slam the door shut on LeBron's GOAT case for UG?
It's been slammed shut for a long time, since 2011. I mean, look, and I'm gonna tell people right now: is it so much of a knock to be the second greatest player of all time? Is that really that disrespectful? Because look, not a lot of people can be the second greatest player of all time. I mean, I'm literally wearing the greatest player of all time, hitting the most clutch shot of all time. So, I mean, you can't compete when it's MJ. It's MJ. But LeBron has done a great job. His longevity has been spectacular. He's a good basketball player. I mean, is that so much of disrespect? I've always given LeBron the credit, but when it comes to doing GOAT things, when it comes to being, winning games, even if this is an inferior Lakers team, you think the greatest player of all time would be able to will it into existence?
Like Jordan never got swept.
I mean, Jordan went to six finals, six rings. I mean, also MJ never missed the playoffs. I mean, I don't know, but like I said, I don't think it's disrespectful to say LeBron's the second greatest player of all time. I think that's something you should be very happy about. It's a huge achievement, so I think be happy with that.
I think LeBron's GOAT case at this point is mostly based off longevity, which isn't a bad thing. But at this point, do you really see LeBron kind of matching Jordan's peak? It's over at this point. No. LeBron's peak GOAT argument is really based off of longevity. Him being the all-time scoring leader, him being the all-time playoff scoring leader, him having more career rebounds, assists, etc. than Jordan. But when both players were at their best in the biggest games in the primes of their career, I just don't think LeBron really matched Jordan just in some of those series. Like, I mean, you kind of think back to 2015, 2016 is sort of LeBron's peak in the playoffs. But even still in some of those games, I don't think he matched prime Michael Jordan. Prime Michael Jordan, I think, just had a level of two-way impact that LeBron, outside of maybe 2012, LeBron never really matched.
People forget those Miami LeBron days. They just choose to forget how dominant LeBron really was. You as a Celtics fan, of all people, should remember how dominant LeBron was when he played for the Miami Heat during that era.
Ask Larry Bird.
Player of the Year winner. That's something.
He was robbed in 2013.
Yeah, he was not robbed.
He was robbed.
I don't think he was robbed.
So I hate the Jordan. Oh, well, he has a defensive player of the year and LeBron doesn't. Everybody knows that LeBron should have a defensive player of the year. No. Look, the history books aren't going to have it in there, of course, whatever. But it's not cope. It's literally the facts.
It's copium.
It's facts.
It's literally copium.
Let's also be honest here. The media got bored of giving LeBron the MVP award. Let's just be honest.
So the media never got bored of
MJ the media gets bored of voting the same player of MVP over and over because LeBron could have won MVP every year. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
No, let's be honest that absolutely
pretty much every year LeBron could have won MVP. He's in the debate. And look, there was years LeBron was straight up robbed.
Is different than winning it. Being in the mix is different than winning it. That's completely different. Then Joel Embiid would have 3.
And then to Jordan fans, obviously, losing in the conference finals or losing before you make the finals is better than losing in the finals. That's the thing that I never understood that. LeBron gets criticized for making the finals and losing to some of the greatest teams ever, the Golden State Warriors, etc.
And then one of them.
What?
This is not one of them where he's.
Hey, there's a reason why people are calling this era the everybody eats era.
Everybody eats. Everybody's eating.
Era.
And look, are we going to sit up here and act? Are we going to sit up here and act like the team construction around LeBron at certain points throughout his career has been lackluster at best? Are we going to just sit up here?
So him joining up on a super team was his not own fruition. Him not going back.
He went to Miami. He won championships.
He went to Miami with
the early years. I'm talking about the early years in Cleveland. He wasted so many amazing years early on in his career in Cleveland.
In the Eastern Conference. I mean, he missed.
They could not build a competent roster around LeBron to stay.
Part of that is his doing. Legit.
Maybe later on in his career, but I'm talking about the early Cavs years.
Yeah, but okay. So how does that save him from 2011 when he got what he wanted?
To be honest, no one really uses the early Cavs years against LeBron.
Yeah,
I don't see that used.
that's
That's not
not yeah that
But
that's
so then
not our
what
main.
are you using? Losing to the Warriors with KD?
years
No,
like 2011. I think getting outplayed by Kevin Durant in some of the Warriors Cavs series.
LeBron with no help. That's the epitome of no help.
LeBron with no
Kyle
help.
Korver, arguably your second best player at times.
Look, in the 1v1 game, like you think about some of the famous shots in that series, it's just one-on-one basketball. Kevin Durant versus LeBron James. Kevin Durant hits a 3 in his face, and that's the series.
Back to back game threes in LeBron's house. And look, and there was points. I mean, people don't remember. I mean,
hold on. What people don't realize is that what LeBron is doing and what LeBron even did tonight is unprecedented. It's never been done
How
before.
many times are you
Hold on.
this
Somebody
this
in year
defense?
20 dropping 40 in a playoff game, 30 in the first half.
No one's
This
disputing
is unprecedented. Nobody's ever done it
No one's
before.
disputing that. But our argument is that MJ's peak was just better than LeBron's peak. Look, LeBron's peak has been at a level that no one's ever touched. Is ever
So
going
it
to be
depends
that.
on your definition of greatest.
It depends because look,
at this point, LeBron's probably what, like the 12th best player in the NBA. He's an elite player, but
he's a great player.
He's not top of the line.
I'm not saying he is. I gave Jokic his props as the best player in the
NBA.
NBA.
LeBron can play till he's till year 25. That's how much he can go, and that's a lot longevity. It's like how if you're a GM, who do you want, MJ or LeBron? A guy who can be at your team forever, or a guy that can.
LeBron is the better basketball player, the more complete player. That's always been the case.
I don't agree with.
MJ's a better two-way player. He's a better scorer. He's the greatest scorer.
LeBron can defend just as good.
He cannot.
One of the best passers of all time.
I think the defense is what does it.
MJ was
the defense.
The defense
is MJ's defense was notorious.
People don't realize how good of a defender Michael Jordan was.
How good he was, and how.
People don't respect LeBron's defending. People don't give him the respect he deserves.
It's compared to Michael Jordan's defending. They're different things. They're absolutely different things. MJ, how many all defensive teams LeBron has compared to MJ?
I don't have the numbers pulled up in front of me.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, MJ has more.
He does.
I'm gonna tell you
also
right now.
Former Defensive Player of the Year
and the Defensive Player of the Year. And just more first team selections, and I'm talking about the defensive first team selections.
I think LeBron's effort on the defensive end just kind of wanes in and out. He chooses when to. Obviously,
I'm not going to hold it against
casuals.
LeBron.
Will remember the famous block on Iguodala, but if you're looking,
that was a bicycle built for two.
If you're looking at game-to-game effort on the defensive end and getting lost defensively, being really locked in, Michael Jordan is the more locked-in defender. And on a game-to-game basis.
But there's no way either of y'all are like this. But look, G earlier was saying that this series in particular has an impact on his legacy.
I said it did not because I had him already at 2. I mean, anything that impacted would me putting him 2 to 3, which it did not. So it's just more hammered the fact that I knew what I was saying, that I knew what I saw. I called what I see, and I saw MJ was the GOAT because. Another thing that I just, wanted to mention was even in that, famous Utah Jazz series that, that MJ won his final shot, that Pippen was washed. He barely played in that series. And Rodman was already out of the rotation. MJ by himself. That was literally just MJ by himself versus one of the greatest scorers of all time in Karl Malone. And let's not just say, just what emphasized Michael Jordan was that he stole the ball from Karl Malone, their best player, and went down and scored the clutchest shot in NBA history to win his 6th championship. That's what MJ does. And look, LeBron has a longevity. He's a great player. He's spectacular. But that's MJ. That's MJ we're talking about here. So I it's not a disrespect to say that because there's nobody better than MJ. It's like, maybe if I was on here saying, oh, Kareem is still better than LeBron, which there's some old heads that will say that. But I'm not going to say that because Kareem has good longevity, but it's nowhere near LeBron James's longevity. And I think LeBron had a better peak. But it's MJ. I don't think that's disrespectful to be the second greatest player of all time.
And let's face it, I think this was an opportunity for for LeBron to ultimately boost his GOAT case. I mean, no disrespect to the Miami Heat, but I feel like the Lakers would have a chance against the Miami Heat in the finals. But obviously, it's not going to happen now.
We won't see that.
Look, I said from the very beginning, whoever wins the West is going to win the NBA Finals. That's why, now I'm picking Denver to win.
I got Denver.
I think Denver wins in 6 or
I
7.
like that.
I think Denver wins in 6 or 7. I just don't think Miami has the answer for Jokic, and ultimately,
We'll make a video on it in the future, Dave. But I'm gonna say I like what I hear.
Okay. Do any of y'all have any final comments, points that you want to make about LeBron, the Lakers, anything else you want to get off your chest?
I'd give a little bit more love to obviously Nikola Jokic, who is the rightful MVP at the end of the day. This guy's been the best player in the regular season for 3 years in a row. This year finally gets a healthy Nuggets team around him, and he's been the best player in the playoffs as well. Obviously, you mentioned before, Zach, Jokic is the best player in the world. I think that's should be a commonly accepted take among NBA fans at this point. Nikola Jokic, in terms of what he does on the offensive end, I think Jokic could carry a team full of G Leaguers to an above average offense. He's just the best player in the world at the moment. And I think there's really no two ways around that.
I'm going to have nightmares of those Jokic miraculous shots at the end of the shot clock
That
from
one
3.
shot he made over.
I'm having nightmares about that. He did
One-
it again today.
One foot.
He's just where it's late in the shot clock,
It's
and Jokic
right.
he just goes like this. He
Like
just,
that.
A fadeaway.
It was Larry
AD's on him. I don't
Bird-esque.
even know how he makes it, and he just makes it. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Literally the ball
That's
is
the
not in
moment
his
of the
head,
series,
behind his
right?
head. It's that was the moment where it's just like the Nuggets are not losing tonight. It was just that moment, and I mean to give credit obviously to Jokic, because I mean I didn't really know how legit Jokic, because where players are truly tested is the playoffs. That's where you make your legacy. I mean, your career starts in the regular season, but your legacy is made in the playoffs. That's how it's always been. And he's been unlucky because Jamal Murray has been hurt, but God, is he back? Finally back. It's a great story to hear. You know how Mike Malone talks about how Jamal was heartbroken when he got that injury. That he said, "I'm damaged goods. They're going to trade me," and they told him, "No, we're not trading you because we trust you." And this is why, because he's this good. He was that good. It wasn't just dumb luck in the bubble. He was that good. He was that good. And
I saw something while we're talking about Jamal Murray. Where do you think after this series and potentially going on and winning a ring, where would he rank among guards in the NBA?
Right now?
Yeah, right now. After what we're seeing.
If you win a championship, then he has to be, top 3 guard.
Let's say I'm not sure I'd go that far. I don't know.
Dude, from what he did, I mean, the Lakers have good guard defense. I mean, they throw shooter. They have Vanderbilt. They have good people to throw at, and Jamal was good. And we saw what that did to Steph Curry. I mean, they made Steph Curry not look normal, and Jamal was cooking. Jamal, when he saw those guys, it was barbecue chicken. This guy was unbelievable. And another guy, before we finally end this, I do want to give credit to a guy that no one saw coming. No one ever saw coming, but Austin Reeves. Because I know I do joke around that Austin Peeves or whatever I want to say about him, but he was so miraculous. Every time the Lakers needed a lifeline, it was him. Everybody was clanking threes, Hachimura, Dennis Schroeder, but you give it to Austin Reeves and he knocks it down. He's so good. I don't think the Lakers are going to have, the salary cap to keep him, but I think whoever gets him, I mean, he's going to play good anywhere. This is not just a pure Lakers thing. And usually it's harder to play alongside LeBron. Usually you see these great 3-point shooters go with LeBron and they start breaking everything. Austin Reeves isn't like that. And I think whoever gets Austin Reeves is going to have, a good gem on their hands.
I agree. Mm-hmm. I hope the Lakers are able to re-sign him. I wanted to ask final question before the video, and I'll leave it to open to the floor here. What does a Jokic ring really do for his legacy? Like, I'm talking all time, because obviously we know as of right now he's one of the all-time greats already. But what does a ring really do for him?
What do you think, TJ? I'll let you go first.
I still think it's too early with Jokic to talk about the all-time discussions, but I just feel like the way his career trajectory is trending right now, he's on track to be potentially a top 15, top 10 player of all time. But as of right now, you can't put him in that category yet. But I think Jokic is on track to be. I mean, look, he's been the best player in the world the past 3 years in the regular season. He's been the best player in the playoffs this year. But, I mean, he's going to need a few more playoff performances before he sort of gets in there. I think he's going to do it, but it's just too early to talk about kind of all-time stuff right now at this point, I would say.
I would somewhat agree because I mean, if Jokic does go on and win it all, I mean, he'd have 2 MVPs and 1 championship and 1 Finals MVP. I mean, that's elite. And I mean, a lot of people. It depends on who you ask how they have their top 10 set up. I mean, I think last time I asked Zach had Kevin Durant in his top 10, and I had Steph Curry in my top 10. Those are still active players, but I think Jokic. I mean, if he still keeps going, he can easily overtake Steph Curry, or he can overtake. I think he's, but when it's all said and done, he might be better than Kevin Durant. I think he's gonna have a better career. But yeah, it's a little too early because everybody's gonna have these heat of the moments. Like Jokic just did something that we didn't really think he could do, even though he's the 1 seed. He should have been favored to do it, but he's gonna have the Miami Heat in front of him, obviously. So we're gonna have to see how that goes.
I would agree with both of y'all. Obviously, when I asked a question, I assume what you think based on what his career trajectory is going to be, kind of like how TJ answered. And I would say based on Jokic's career trajectory, how I expect his career to go, I think he easily has a chance to be in the top 10 greatest to ever do it in the NBA when it's all said and done. I think he's going to have the legacy, the resume. We're only seeing a glimpse of what he's going to do in the future, I think, because I think he is the epitome of consistency. He's like the opposite of AD. Jokic gives you this every night. AD is the exact opposite, where you don't know what you're getting on a night-to-night basis. But Jokic came in 4 straight times, wiped the floor with the Lakers, cooked us, basically didn't even break a sweat. The Jokic brothers are laughing in the stands, as the Lakers walk off, basically. And I think Jokic and this Nuggets team is going to be locked and loaded, going to be ready to do it again next season. And they're going to be tough to beat. I mean, obviously, it's tough to call the NBA on a even year-to-year basis just because trades can happen and another super team could form. But this Nuggets team is going to be good next season. We know that to be 100% facts. So what is stopping them from potentially winning another ring next season or even beyond? Because, at the end of the day, Jokic isn't getting any worse, unless an injury happens, and knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen.
And Jamal Murray's, isn't he quite young, isn't he?
Yeah, as long as Jamal Murray's healthy, and they're able to keep these role players around him like Bruce Brown, because he's been so good for this Nuggets team. Michael Porter Jr., KCP's been playing good. I love Michael Porter Jr.'s game because he's not afraid to take that shot. And he does. Sure, does he miss some shots? Yes, but he seems to have a lot of back-breaking shots where it's like, momentum killer kind of shots, and I feel like he is not afraid to take shots. And I know this is just one moment, but I remember at one point during the game for the Lakers, Schroeder, he was scared to shoot. And he was, at this point, he had made a 3 in the game. And he just passed open a wide open look. LeBron told him he needed to start shooting. Michael Porter Jr. is not afraid of the moment. He's always going to put up a shot. He always trusts. Even if he's 0 for 2, 0 for 3, he's going to keep shooting. And I think, he's a really good player for this Nuggets team. Obviously, they just have a really deep team. Obviously, it's why they cooked that from the Lakers.
I looked it up right now. I mean, Jamal Murray's 26, Aaron Gordon's 27, Michael Porter Jr. 24. He played good today. Nikola Jokic is 28. These players are still young. Yep. I mean, Jokic is the oldest tenured player, and he's only 28. And we've seen in this league, you can play till you're early 30s, 31, 33, and still be able to offer something. So that's pretty that's shocking because. Yeah. I think there will be eventually a passing of the guard that Jamal Murray will overtake Jokic as the best player on the team eventually, and he's only 26. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're in a prime position to be a team that's always in this mix of, okay, the season starting, the Nuggets are going to be in the conference finals. That's where they're going to be. They have that opportunity to do that because they have a very good core, they're very deep team. So
yeah, I have to agree. And any final points?
I think that's it before we go on for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Look, obviously, I'm disappointed. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this game. The Lakers, what can they do from here? Do we get Kyrie? Let us know in the comments down below. Yeah, I guess we'll see y'all next time for another video. Man, I'm Zach.
I'm G.
I'm TJ.
And we'll see y'all next time, probably tomorrow after the Celtics get swept. See ya.